In this video, we're going to get our course project site structure set up. Let's start by looking at the site template that is provided in the course. Here you can see a visual representation of the sort of hierarchical structure of all the files we're going to use. And you can see an actual sort of tree structure over here on the right. So of course we have our root folder, and inside of that we're going to have a few files, the index.html file and the about.html file. We'll also have our style sheet styles.css. Then we'll also have a couple of folders, the standard docs and images folder, and then a folder for the subpages of our site, for the articles and for the products. Both articles and products will have their own index.html file, and then we'll have a page for each of the different pages that make up that section. So we'll have an article 1 through 5 and products 1 through 5. Now, we just have A1 and B1 in here, but we'll actually replace these with more helpful names, which you'll see momentarily. You can see the very same thing is shown here, but with perhaps a little bit different hierarchical look at the overall site, where we can see that the articles are sort of organized in sections and the home page and the about page stand on their own. So let's look at how to get this going in our sandbox. So here we are in our course project sandbox, and the first thing we're going to want to do is add the index.html file. And let's go ahead and add our about.html file as well. Okay, now let's add our standard folders, the images folder and the docs folder. Last of all, here in this folder, let's add our styles.css file. All right, now we have all of our outer layer of files, and let's, actually we do need still to add our products and articles folders. So here we go for products and for articles. Okay, now we need the sub pages inside of each of these. So inside of the articles folder, we're going to right click and choose create file so that we specifically create a file directly inside of here. Let's call this first one index.html. That will be our main articles page. And then we'll create a file for each of our other articles. So article 1, notice that it's singular article.html. Okay, so I'm going to copy this and create a new file, paste it, but change it to article 2. Do the same thing, article 3, and so on all the way to article 5. All right, now we're going to repeat that process over here in the products folder. So we have our main page and then product 1 on through product 5. All right, now that we have all of the different files of our site, let's put some placeholder content into these files. So we can grab the required minimum document structure from our course content. And then you can see that all we need to do is just replace the title with the name of this file. So this would be the home page. This would be about. Okay, we could also go ahead and put a heading on these pages so that we can see them as well. We will definitely update this later as we learn more about the appropriate structure to use. So there is the about page. There is the home page. Okay, now I'm going to just copy this and go into products, our main products page, and enter products plural. All right, and then let's go do the same thing into the articles main page. Oops. All right. Now for each of our articles, we'll copy this, we'll paste it in here, and let's just update the number in both of these places and transfer that to all of the other files, making sure that we update the number along the way. Now notice I just did a fancy little trick here where I've got a cursor, actually two cursors that make it easy to edit both places at once. All I did was click and then hold the Option key on a Mac. It's probably an Alt key on a PC, and make the second click, and then I can do the edits in those two places. So we'll paste that in again. And continue to make these changes all the way through Article 5. Okay, do something similar for the product pages, except we'll just be changing them to product 1 through 5. Now, the home page itself ought to be able to preview here once we refresh and save. And so you can see it there. But if you want to get to any of the other pages, you actually have to type the path in for now. Until we learn about hyperlinks and paths, it may not make sense to do much more with that. But suffice to say, if you follow these steps, then you should be ready to go to carry forward.